Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to go ahead and talk about love and marriage. Huntsville. I'm just gonna go ahead and review the last two episodes. Um, I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna do the review. I didn't take a lot of notes. Um, I write big. Really, realistically, really only have one page, but because I write so big, girl, I got like a page and a half, front and back. Anyways, these are just the things that I wrote down that I wanted to kind of just tap on. Kiki, um, Kiki, I remember Kiki, Mel, I think it was Nail and Tiffany meeting up at Mel's house. Yeah, Mel, Kiki, Tiffany, and Nell, I think, meeting up at Melody's house. And Melody wanted to just basically have a kumbaya moment. And hash out whatever needed to be hashed out between really Tiffany and Kiki. I think Kiki is full of it. Kiki, if you watch my reviews, I don't know, but if you see this girl, I just wish that you would have owned up to you being shady to Tiffany. Like, this is the thing. Do I believe that Tiffany is doing a lot this season because she can hide behind that baby gut? Yes, I do. Um, I, I think what would make me a believer in Tiffany is if next season she comes back after that baby drops. If there's a next season, I guess. But if there's a next season and if she's invited back, she keeps the same energy. Because right now, I do believe that Tiffany is kicking up a lot of mess because she know can't nobody tap her in the name of the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Okay. But nonetheless, girl, I'm actually going up for Tiffany this season. Quiet as it's kept. Everything I just said, quiet as it's kept. I'm really going up for Tiffany. Okay, Tiffany, low key, is my girl this season. Because to me, Tiffany is asking the stuff that needs to be asked. Okay? Anyways, um, we're going to get into it though. But Kiki, I wish Kiki just would have said, I shouldn't have said it. My mouth was moving faster than, I wanted it to. And by the time, girl, we all looked up, I had said what I said. It was inappropriate. I shouldn't have said it. It was mean. That's something I'm working on is my mouth. I just think if she just would have said that, it just would have been oh, okay, girl. But I think where I started to side eye Kiki is when she tried to act like what she said she wasn't being shady or she didn't mean any it wasn't any ill intent behind what she said. Yes, it was, girl. You meant it as a dig at Tiffany. Like it would have been different if you would have said it to someone in the group who grew up with their father or had their father in their life, then it would have been like, oh, okay, girl, what is Kiki talking about? Nobody probably would have thought anything about it. But because, girl, we know that Tiffany is like looking for her biological parents, mama, daddy. I don't know. I can't remember her story. But I remember her going to look somebody, biological father or mother or both. We knew it was a dig. Um, they talked about Tiffany, I guess, texting Kiki. I don't know, girl. I don't know. It sounded like Tiffany could have been kind of like playing both sides, but I also felt like was Tiffany playing both sides? Because if you were going to use any example of you knowing Tiffany, it wouldn't have been, or I guess being in some type of communication with Tiffany, it wouldn't have been y'all sons playing baseball together. Because that don't mean nothing. Like, girl, that don't mean nothing. Like I was talking to my sister, my biological sister, and we were both saying the same thing. Like my nieces are in gymnastics, and my sister talks to the women, up there, or sometimes the fathers that are up there, but. Girl, I don't know them people. Girl, we just talking because while our kids in there doing cartwheels, kicks, and splits and flips. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's like what Tiffany, like I feel like what Kiki was trying to do was make it seem as though, girl, we know each other. We've been hanging around it. Girl, I don't know you, girl. Girl, I don't know you, but I saw how you was moving with your cousin that you call your sister, and that was enough for me. Anyway, so I just wish that I wish that Kiki, I saw going off into a rant sometimes. I wish that Kiki, if anything, Kiki should have used that as an example in the moment if that really was the truth. Like, girl, you know me, stop acting crazy. You text me or you retweeted me something. You text me about a retweet or something. Girl, stop. You know? Or we were trying to get to know each other. Girl, you knew enough of me to text my phone. Okay? And to have my number in your phone. Girl. So anyways, Sheree and Martel. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sheree and Tiffany. This is the thing with Tiffany. I said what I said earlier about I think Tiffany hiding behind her pregnancy. I do. And I guess the telltale is going to be next season if there's a next season if she comes back if she keeps that same energy after she done dropped that baby. Because right now can't nobody really do nothing to Tiffany and don't nobody want to run her blood pressure up. Even though quiet as is kept, girl, I'm just gonna be honest with you, girl. If I was one of them, girl, I'm with Kiki, girl. She knows she pregnant. Girl. So if she say something to me, then girl, she gonna get it right back. So in order for her to protect whatever she got going on over there, she best just come in and be quiet and shut up. Because if you say something to me, then we're just gonna be arguing. Okay, baby, good and all. Okay. But basically, Tiffany was asking Sheree, do you think you should meet Mel? So this is the thing where it got kind of like messy. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Sheree, I don't think Sheree was being messy when she let it be known that like she had never like formally met Mel. However, Mel and their Martel and Melody's son came to like a book signing. I didn't even know Sheree had a book. What kind of book Sheree? Did she get a book? Did she say a book signing? Girl, I just thought about it. Girl, Sheree got a book. Girl, hold up. Girl, I ain't never know Sheree had a book. Hold up. Let me see. Sheree got a book? Oh, she do got a. I forgot about that book. Oh, Wives, Finances, and Side Chicks of Hotlanta. Sheree Whitfield from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Girl, whatever. Atlanta. Girl, it's $7.99 on Amazon and $5.32 on Walmart. $4.79 at World of Books if y'all looking for it. Somebody selling it on eBay for $5.74. It's used. I forgot all about that book. I'm like, girl, I was thinking like, girl, what kind of book Sheree done had? Girl, anyway, child. Oh, girl, Melody was probably trying to get that girl to get some tips. Wives, Finances, and Side Chicks. Oh yeah, it makes sense why Melody read that book. Okay. But anyway, so she said that Melody just basically came up, and to support the book. However, in the next episode, I don't like the way that like Tiffany was being messy. Like I was talking to my sister and my biological sister, and I was like, I just wish that even though there's nothing wrong with being fans of people, we're all fans of people. I think that sometimes the way that you use it can make a situation worse than what it is, right? So the way that Tiffany and Stormi were talking about it, like, so she's a fan. She's a fan. Like, so she's a fan. Yeah, like she's a fan. Instead of just kind of like, well, I wouldn't say, yeah, I think that she just wanted to show support to someone who she probably grew to like through her television screen. Right? Because I think what could happen is it could start to kind of like create unnecessary drama between Melody and Sheree, right? Well, girl, Sheree said you were a fan. She said I was a fan. Even though, like, technically you are a fan, but the way that it's used is like the context, girl, it could be taken completely like left field, and that's not what we're trying to do. So I felt like Tiffany in that moment, she could have just kind of like brought it down a couple of notches with Stormi, because I feel like Stormi, especially because Stormi and Mel are not in the best place right now, she was really like pouring gasoline on the fire. So she's a fan. So you say she's a fan? So she's a fan. So she's a fan. So she's a fan. Yeah! Anyways, child. She also asked Sheree, um, do you think he's over Mel? Girl, I am not mad at Tiffany. Girl, Tiffany is ask the questions. Ask the questions we want to know. Girl. Sheree know how this works. Sheree been in reality TV a long time. She knows exactly what she. I don't think she was expecting it. Now I do think that probably took Sheree by surprise, because I don't think that she was probably expecting that. Girl. I will say I like Sheree's answer about. I think the way Tiffany brought it up about basically him still, I guess, like walking Mel to her car, and just like Sheree said, even though I don't think that Sheree really cares, he should care about Melody. They have 4 kids together. That's the mother of his kids. Blah blah blah. It was a good answer, but girl, we know Sheree don't care about what Martel does, because if she did, she wouldn't be with him. Okay. Um, what is it like dating someone who basically has a reputation of cheating? He's a cheater. I said, God, Tiffany was on one. When I tell you Miss Tiff was on one, I was here for all of it, every single bit of it. The next day, Sheree goes over to Martel's house. Now, this is where I was confused. I was gonna talk about Sheree and Martel real bad, and then I thought about it. I said, you know what? Because I was confused on why Sheree was coming over. If the event was the night before, and she was tired, I know she didn't drive back to Atlanta, because Atlanta, what is 3-4 hours away from Huntsville. I know she didn't drive back to Atlanta, then drive back to Huntsville. I mean, Sonya did it in this new episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but that's not the same thing. Sonya had to go to work. So, well, maybe Sheree had to go back to work too. I don't know. I just basically thought it was strange that Sheree has come down to see this man who she's dating, insinuating that they're having sex. But girl, you can't even spend a night at his house. And then when you walk into his house, you ask him, what did she say? Where do you want me to sit? Girl, on the couch. Girl, like. So the only thing I can come up with is Martel did say that his kids were at his mother's. So I'm assuming maybe the kids spent the night. The kids were at the house, and Sheree just didn't want to spend the night because the kids were there, and she got a hotel. Or maybe she had to film Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she had to fly back, or she had to run the Atlanta Real. But I don't believe that, because she was back early in the morning. I don't know. I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to hurt my brain, because we know that girl. Whatever's going on between Sheree and Martel is a lie, and it's not for real. At this point, have Sheree and Martel probably gave each other head, probably banged once or twice, maybe so. I don't know. But other than that, this ain't going nowhere. Sheree, you walking in this man's house like this your first time now. Anyways, and then Martel, of course. Sheree tells Martel basically about Tiffany. I mean, I don't remember Sheree putting 20 on 10. I think how she delivered it to Martel was basically how Tiffany said it, from what I remember. Martel actually, of course, felt some type of way. He didn't like it. And then, of course, he said something dumb in the confessional about Sheree knows how to cater to a man and to be submissive. Girl, you would think You know what the real gag is to me? How you could be a man like Martel Holt and cheat on your family, get your girlfriend slash side chick turned girlfriend pregnant multiple times. She has a baby. Your wife finally musters up enough sense to divorce you. You go broke. You probably still low key broke, and the only money you probably making is for the money from OWN. Okay, your credit score is shot to hell. You at this point you're just grasping at straws, right? You're trying to make sure your wine stick, the cookbook stick, the calendar stick, go whatever the children's book, whatever you can find to make stick to make stick, you're trying. And girl, after all this, girl, well, you not having a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, girl, you got the nerve to open up your mouth talking about, girl, she knows how to cater to a man and be submissive. Why would you be submissive to a man who can't even pay his goddamn pussy bill? Girl, why would you be submissive to a man who ain't even got no money to take care of his children? That's what Melody said. Melody said, I'm just saying what Melody said. Remember Melody when Melody and Martel got into it like a season ago, where she was like, "You can't even get your children's hair braided. You couldn't even pay for tuition." Remember she said that. That's who y'all being submissive. That's who you being submissive to, Sheree. Girl. Girl, y'all be wanting a man too much for me. Girl, not you being submissive to a motherfucker who can't even pay his bills. Absolutely not. Girl, shout out to y'all, girl. At least y'all got a man, though. At least y'all got a man, honey. All right, let's move on. So we're moving on to, okay, this is the next episode, 1636, girl. I'm gonna forget. I'll put it in the put it in the description box, so y'all know when we start the new review. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next episode. This was, I guess, last night's episode. All right, so Kimmi meets up with Mel. Mel is doing a class. Girl, look like they pulled two niggas off the street and said, "Come here, girl. We'll give you $50 to shoot, girl, for a few minutes." And they said, "Okay." Because they bit Mo didn't look like they was interested in nothing Mel was saying. But okay, girl, I get it, child. So Kimmi stops by her class, her teaching. And I will give Kimmi this much. You would not think that Kimmi just like, I mean, I think she still had breast cancer. Well, no, she was breast cancer free, right? Was she? I think the breast cancer was gone. I can't remember, girl. But you would not think that Kimmi was going through what she was going through, because Kimmi pretty much kind of like, which I kind of love, because it also goes to show that Kimmi didn't want her entire storyline to just be sad and sad and sad and sad the entire season. I saw the next episode. I think she's going to be going to the doctor. But for the most part, you would have never thought that Kimmi was going through what she was going through, because Miss Thing just kind of like picked up like, "Okay, girl, what's up?" "Hey, y'all, I'm back." Girl was going through some stuff, but she back. What's up? Okay. Anyway, she says that she tries to keep her stress level down. So she's very, conscious of where she goes, as far as like, who is, if someone's throwing an event, if she's going to accept the invite. But right now her biggest stressor is at home. Basically kind of like co-parenting with girl Marceau. Not Marceau, girl. They the same. All these niggas the same. Marceau, Martel, Maurice, girl, it don't matter, girl. Whatever name I say, it's the same nigga. Okay? But Maurice. Yeah, but she's basically going through it with Maurice. Let me just go ahead and get them out the way. This is the thing, and Kimmi knows this. Kimmi not dumb. Kimmi probably one of the smartest people I've seen in reality TV. Kimmi knows the man who she married. I mean, Kimmi knows the man that she married. Kimmi tried to tell us first season that Marceau, Maurice and Marceau are just alike. And I didn't believe her. Now, I don't know why I didn't believe this woman about her own goddamn husband, but I didn't believe her. And then soon I was like, and then one day I was like, ooh, girl, go hold up. Cause you know Maurice do give you like, he does give you a real old nasty politician. Maurice will get you to vote for his ass. Okay, right. That's Maurice. Maurice is gonna get your ass to vote for him. I'll fuck around and vote for the corrupt politician, right? Um, but she tried to tell us that Maurice and Marceau were just the same, and she was right. It's just that Maurice comes in a prettier package. That's it. Um, and he's not as in your face as Marceau. Just don't give a damn. Okay, Maurice give a damn. So he said he just do it and say it in a way where you don't catch on until like 2 weeks later. You be like, girl, what did this nigga just say? Girl, did he say? You're right. So you be confused and shit. Um. Maurice, when it comes to Monster, you know I hate that name. I think that name is absolutely horrible. And as much, and I'm gonna keep saying this as pro black, as pro man, as Maurice comes across, it blows my mind that they're still walking around here in 2023, still calling their black teenage son Monster. We're gonna call him Maurice Jr. because I don't like the name Monster. And his name is Maurice Jr. So we're gonna call him Maurice Jr. So Maurice Jr. Um, Maurice is raising his son to be just like him. So basically, Kimmi is not liking the fact that Maurice Jr. does not do his chores, aka clean up. And when Kimmi tells Maurice Jr., hey Maurice, clean up your room, he don't clean it up. Now, I do believe him also, because he basically told Kimmi that he gets distracted. So like sometimes he just has like, you know, a million things going on in his head. And so he'll say he's gonna do it and then he'll like get distracted by something else. I do believe that. That happens. Bitch, that happened with me. And bitch, I'm grown. Bitch. Y'all know, bitch, I go from blocking. Girl, even when I do my reviews, bitch, I'm telling 5 stories at one time. You just gotta keep up. Okay? Just like I'm doing now. I'm supposed to be talking about love and marriage Huntsville, and now I'm talking about how I can't keep my mind straight, you know? But I believe it. You know, it just happens. But just like she said, we're going to have to just get to a point where you have to just focus on one thing. I like how she said it. Like, I believe you, right? But I just want you to probably start to focus on the thing at that time. And then move to the next thing. Then move to the next thing, right? But what the problem is this. The reason why Maurice doesn't say anything to Maurice Jr. about cleaning up, doing his chores, is because Maurice does not feel that a man should have to do that. That's all it is. I can guarantee you, if Kimmi told Maurice Jr. to go outside and throw the football around with his neighbor so he could get better at football, and he didn't, and Maurice heard Kimmi say that, I guarantee you Maurice would hop up and tell Maurice Jr. to get his ass outside and throw the football around. Because that's where he's training Maurice. He's not training Maurice, or not training, but teaching. I'm not teaching. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, Not growing. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's a real simple word. What do you do with raising? I'm like it's a real simple word that you do with children. He's not raising Maurice Jr. to look at cleaning as something that needs to be done, because as far as Maurice is concerned, that's a woman's job. So that's why it's not important for him that when Kimmi says, clean up your room, right? Or do this, of course he's not going to say it because you do it. That's a woman's job. His job is to go, is to go play football. And I don't know what's going on with this whole boot camp stuff. I rewound that part 3 times. I still didn't understand. So I don't know. I was like, girl, not Maurice having a fit for monster. Not Maurice having a fit for monster. I keep saying monster for Maurice Jr. to come stay with him just for him to put him in boot camp. Girl, okay, girl. So I don't know if Maurice Jr. is like it's like a summer summer school type of situation. I don't know if he's like at a boot camp where like he's away and then maybe he gets to come home on the weekends, or if he's at a boot camp where like it's just like I'll drop you off at 5:30 in the morning and then I pick you up when I get off work. So I was kind of confused on that part. But nonetheless, Maurice Jr. is in a boot camp, I guess, to kind of like get him together. But also, one of his main focuses is to get a football scholarship. And I'm like, girl, why does it have to, girl, Maurice, what if Maurice Jr. don't even want to play football? Because I remember Maurice saying at the reunion, like last year or the year before, that like when he tells Maurice Jr. to go like with football, like he kind of like has this I don't care attitude. Probably because he don't want to play football. And he's probably only doing it because you're making him doing it. And now, girl, one of the goals is to make sure he gets a football scholarship. Why not like an academic scholarship? Does it have to be a football scholarship, girl? Whatever, girl. Stormi basically tells Tiffany when they met up that she feels as though she's right about where her and Melody stand, because if Nell can come in and sense some energy between her and Melody, and she don't know Nell, then that means that she's right also in feeling the way that she feels about what's going on between her and Mel. Is Tiffany cheating on Lou? That's basically the storyline that they're pushing, with like Kiki and Tisha are pushing. But I love the fact that Tiffany wants to continue to work after the baby. Tiffany is letting it be known that girl, that baby ain't gonna stop her from working. Girl, if I got to go out there and breastfeed between meetings, girl, that's fine. But girl, I'm going back to work, cause I know that's right. Okay, here we go, child. I ain't gonna lie. Tiffany, Maurice, and Martel meet up. Well, Martel and Marceau were studying, I guess. And I guess he wanted to meet up with Tiffany. What type of business they got going on? I was so confused. Girl, I don't even care, honestly. But it was something's going on between Melody and Marceau. No, something's going on between Tiffany and Martel, like business-wise. And so that was, I guess, the purpose of her going down there to meet Martel to discuss their business. Or a potential business deal that may be in the works. So she goes down there and Marceau is already there. I ain't gonna lie, Marceau was kind of funny to me. Marceau was actually kind of cute in this scene too. He was like, simmer down. He said like he been hanging around fucking I need for too long. When he said gasp. I'm not gonna lie, girl, I was tickled. Marceau be funny, girl. Marceau do kind of be funny sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, girl. He gonna my goddamn nerve, but girl, he is kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Long story short, girl. And we're gonna get more into this next week. But that's all I got. Wait, you gonna? Martel is mad because Tiffany went down, and Tiffany basically about what Tiffany did to Sheree. Okay. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I do understand why Martel was pissed. I do. Because if Martel probably knew that was going to happen, he probably wouldn't have invited Tiffany. He invited Tiffany thinking that it would be part of his support system, right? It's kind of like, not to go backwards, it's kind of like when Candace invited Mia to her video shoot, and then Mia basically put down the video shoot, where it's kind of like, girl, if I knew you was gonna come and put down my shit, I wouldn't have invited you, just like I didn't invite Ashley. So it's really pretty much the same thing. Like, if I knew you were gonna come to my stuff, which is really supposed to celebrate me in this moment, and you were gonna kick up this chaos with my date, right? Then I wouldn't have even told you to come. Now, was Tiffany asking the right questions in a messy moment? Yes, she was. And I felt like Tiffany, regardless of, Martel, you are a cheater. I'm not a cheater, I cheated. See, I think this is going to be the problem. I think this is a problem with people. We have to accept stuff for what it is. If you unalive someone, even if you go to prison for 30 years for the crime that you did, you're still going to be called an unaliver. M-U-R-D. Y'all know the word I'm trying to say. I'm just going to call it unaliver. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. If you take somebody's life. So it don't matter. You're still going to be called, that's what you're going to be called. Martel, you are a cheater. Girl, how you trying to slice it and dice it? Some stuff labels may go away. Like Drea say, I thought your wholeness erased after 7 years. Guys, I know that's right. Now see that shit I agree with. Oh, now that what Drea said made sense. Drea said, I thought your wholeness delete after 7 years. I said, girl, it do. Don't let these people tell you nothing, okay? Because I ain't know the stuff I did in my 20s, that don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. Okay? That only girl, I don't know what y'all talking about. Okay? But no, girl. Martel had every right to be upset. However, the part where I really started to get confused is, why in the hell is Marceau there? Why is Marceau there? Marceau, you have a lot to say. This don't have nothing to do with you. You were kind of talking a little sideways to Tiffany. I'm not going to lie. Even though, again, I could see why Martel would be upset, that has nothing to do with Marceau. And I can tell you that if somebody was talking to Tisha like that, Marceau would probably be upset. So why are you talking to Tiffany this way? I'm not a traditional person, okay? And I've even had this conversation with my sister, my biological sister, and she's a woman and she feels the same way. My sister don't care about men having conversations with women and vice versa. Like, she don't care. Like, if I got something to say to this nigga, I'm going to say it. And just like she don't care, like if my brother-in-law, wanted to address something with a woman, my sister wouldn't care. Yeah, of course we're going to do it in a respectful way. But girl, if it's a confrontation that needs to happen, the confrontation going to happen. Right? So me personally, I didn't have an issue with Martel addressing whatever he needed to address with Tiffany. I don't see the problem why he needs to go to Lou. I'm going to the horse's mouth. I know people have this thing about men, having conversations with women and women having conversations with men. I get that to a certain degree. I'm not going to lie. Because I remember when Dr. Heaven used to say that, I used to always almost throw up in my mouth. But I get it. Because sometimes, depending on what woman you talking to, girl, she'll cut your ass off at your knees. And we know these niggas are real sensitive and they'll pop you in your face. So sometimes it is best for men and women not to address each other for safety reasons, right? But, for me, because I'm not no violent person, I don't hit people, girl, we can have a conversation. Okay? And you can say what you need to say, and I can say what I need to say, and then girl, we can go have a cocktail. But bitch, we gonna talk about it. Okay? We ain't gotta go get your husband. We ain't gotta do none of that. Because bitch, I'm talking to you. Okay? Because you said it. But yeah, I get that people are like that. I understand it to a certain degree, but I don't think it was an issue with Martel approaching Tiffany. However, I do believe that Martel would feel some type of way if a man approached his wife. Like what I'm trying to say is the way that Martel and Marceau are acting, and based off the clip that I saw last week for next week's episode, and I could be wrong, I don't think that they would appreciate a man approaching their wife instead of coming directly to them. I don't. At all. But I can't wait. I hope Lou get into Marceau's ass, because Marceau was kind of out of line. I mean, some of the stuff he was saying was funny, and I don't think that he really really meant like any harm to Tiffany, but it could come across just a tad bit like, okay, girl, you doing too much. Like, I'm talking about Marceau. You doing too much. You need to like reel it in a little bit. And then like, you just never know, because if Tiffany goes back and says, yeah, Marceau said something about a Sheree about me needing to be slapped in my face. When you hear stuff like that, depending on who, like, we all hear stuff differently. So if Tiffany goes back and says, yeah, Marceau said, whatever Marceau said something about him being surprised that Tiffany didn't get slapped, or that's the type of shit that gets you slapped. Basically, but I don't think he was saying it like from his point of view. I think he was saying it like, Sheree, if you wasn't pregnant, that's the type of shit that gets you slapped. But if Tiffany goes back and tells Lou that, depending on where Lou is in that moment, what he's doing, he could hear it completely different. And then, girl, all of a sudden, girl, now the niggas are shooting at each other. And, it's just be a whole bunch of mess. So like I said, girl, it is what it is. I understand why some men and women shouldn't have conversations. But I think that, girl, I'm not a traditional type of person like that. I think that men and women can definitely have conflict and definitely address a situation without it going to a disrespectful place. You can always have bitch, we get into arguments all the time. And girl, you disagree with me, I disagree with you in the comment section, and girl, we're going by our fucking business. Anyways, I'm gone, girl. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.